Welcome to our spring concert. Thanks for being here. Our concert orchestra here on stage is starting to stand because we're playing a piece that is originally a chamber work. And so if we were to do this real deal, I would have had to memorize it too. But we've got them standing up, so we've adjusted our music stands and we're ready to go with a Vivaldi selection. Shuffle one more time. We are going to play another tune which is kind of patriotic in nature. It has lots of heroic sounds about it. It's called Star of Valor, written by Doug Spada. It's at this moment that I get to introduce some of the personnel in our group. Although we perform together, it's really important to honor our individual players. So we do have awards backstage for all of our musicians today. Get my visual aids out here. The freshmen and sophomores all receive a pin that has the year of their participation on it. Our juniors will receive their letter, which they can put their pins on, and then our seniors will be recognized a little later on with a plaque. So we're going to go section by section. Our first section, number 2, recognize is our bass section. We have one strong bassist. This is Harper Conan. So the rest of our performers who are sitting are going to stand when their name is read. And if we could hold our applause until the end of the section, that would be great. Our cello section includes Audrey Chesko, Henrik Fox, Caleb McCumber, Vakaris Merton, Sage Palish, Anna Peterson, Mackenzie Proctor, and Lily Senecal. Our viola section includes Lauren Klinger, Abigail Rawlings, Sophia Smith, and Jennifer John. And our violinists include Amalia Anderson, Jovi Beasley, Violet Blackmer, Michaela Bourdon, Lily Carden, Lydia Selesky, Kendall Clark, Parker D. Rose, Abby Flenner, Chloe Gagnon, Abby Goldberg, Latasia Jackson, Kaylee Johnson, Abby Luce, Zamora McMillan, Shannon Rankin, Zaylee Rickard, Ronan Shaw, Malia Stewart, Jared Thomas, Ryder Thomas, and Zachariah Veltman. I have a few other recognitions to give with our concert orchestra members. The Michigan School Band and Orchestra Association District 7 Solo and Ensemble was held on January 30th. We hosted it right here at Mona Shores High School. There were 10 concert orchestra members who accepted that challenge to participate in this event. We had solos, we had duets, we had quintets. Would those who participated in District Solo and Ensemble please stand to be recognized? All of these performers received excellent ratings at the district event, which qualifies them to participate in state. We had one concert orchestra member choose to take that challenge. This was on March 21st. Parker DeRose played her solo at State Solo. Our Mona Shores Fiddle Group is 46 members strong this year, and we're not performing tonight. However, we are continuing to rehearse for some summer gigs that are coming up. 13 of those 46 members are up here on this stage. If our fiddlers could please stand to be recognized. At this time, I'd like to invite Mrs. Hopper back to the podium to announce the scholarship winners.
You thought you were done with me because we elected new people, but no. The MSOPA, thanks to your contributions in the Unfundraiser and the civic and corporate sponsors, are able to give out these scholarships to students at the end of the year. Summer scholarships for this group, $125 each for private lessons goes to Abigail Rawlins for her viola, Malaya Stewart for violin, Amalia Anderson also for violin, $400 each for Blue Lake Fine Arts Camp goes to Abby Flenner and Parker DeRose, and nobody wrote their instruments down. Let me take a look. Oh, violin.
final selection for our concert orchestra group here. It came about as we sight read some tunes for this program. So we couldn't decide on just one. So instead, I pieced together 13 to create a medley here. We hope you enjoy this. This is we call it rock riffs, or sorry, retro riffs, and it covers 40 years worth of Motown to pop rock. And so this is kind of your name that tune moment. So let's see how many of these you can get by the end. Orchestra is going to make their way off stage and into the audience. It is time for our Symphony Orchestra to make their way to the stage. Our Symphony Orchestra is going to begin their part of our concert this evening by playing the Light Cavalry Overture, which is written by Franz von Suppe and arranged by Merle J. Isaac. You might recognize some of the themes in this particular piece, although it's an old one. It premiered in 1866. It's been used in several different cartoons and commercials, and so we hope you enjoy Light Cavalry Overture. make their way off stage, so our string players have a string number next. So we began working on this string orchestra number back in December with the intention of performing it when composer Chris Pilsner was here with us. Unfortunately, that experience didn't happen, and despite our disappointment, I didn't want to leave this work unperformed, especially knowing that the inspiration for this piece was High School Musicians. This is Snow Falling in Autumn by Chris Pilsner. So our sophomore and junior string players are now going to leave the stage. And our senior strings are going to remain. Each year I offer the seniors an opportunity to pick one number for this show. And with this crew of 20 of them, picking that number was a little bit of a challenge, but they were able to narrow it down to 3 tunes that they're going to put all together. One from their elementary years, Frog in a Tree, played a little bit faster than when they were 5th graders. One from middle school, Jupiter from the Planets, and one from high school, Barber of Seville. Are we ready, seniors? I'm not sure what's happening. We're going to invite our symphony orchestra members back out onto the stage for our next number. The next selection this evening is a piece entitled Origins by Brian Balmages. It's a contemporary work. It was written in 2024 as a commission for the Brisbane School in Queensland, Australia. And because of the location of this commission, Brian Balmages included a traditional Australian instrument in his work, the didgeridoo. So Darcy has learned a little bit of didgeridoo to perform this piece. So give us a little sound of the didgeridoo. So when you hear that at the beginning, don't be alarmed. That's what's supposed to happen. And then behind me, we have some of our exceptional vocalists who are also part of our orchestra who are going to do the vocal part in the middle of this piece. So we do hope you enjoy Origins.
Unusual occurrence.
So at this time, then I get to recognize our sophomore and junior members of the Symphony Orchestra. We'll ask them to stand, and if you could recognize them with applause as soon as their section is finished standing. So we're going to start with our percussion players. We have DJ Fernley, Taylor Threadgill, and Yancy Zhang. Our brass section includes on the tuba, Darcy Parker. Our trombone players, Maya Love, Cadence Nichols, Luke Raisky. Our trumpeters, Jude Hill, Jacob Langlois, Milo Bejarano. And our horn section, Michaela Thurston and Ben Goulet. Our woodwinds include on bassoon, J.J. Cowell. On clarinet, Carly Fischel, Amanda Leaney, and Jack Gregorio. Our oboist, Goldwyn Boyden. And on the flute, Bronwyn Parsekian. Our string players include on the bass, Cadence Grayson. The cello section, Mariah Crandall, Jacob Dewsbury, Cameron Klinger, Olivia Swear, Michaela Yaros. Our viola section, Yesenia Bogelizadeh, Selah Bradfield, Finn Close, Zoe Dudley, Jada Kitchen, and Akira Shepard. And our violin players include Lauren Buboltz, Maggie Fischel, Michael Lankert, Damian Medina, Ethan Mosley, Erilyn Rodarmo, Chris Sykes, Xander Thomas, Ella Trowbridge, and Louise Yang. Mrs. Hopper gets to come up to the mic to introduce scholarship awards from the MSOPA.
Thank you very much for my final performance this evening. Oh no, wait, that's them. The MSOPA scholarships, you might be wondering why the students aren't walking away this evening with like an envelope or a check in their hand for these scholarships. It's because these are reimbursed at the end of the student's experience, kind of as we're getting back into the school year for next year. They also complete a survey to let us know about their experience, what value they learned, how did they grow as a musician. It's a really thoroughly valuable cycle that they get to go through as part of this. So without further ado, MSOPA scholarships for this orchestra, $125 in lessons, private lessons, to Maggie Fischel for violin. $400 to Blue Lake Fine Arts Camp for Erilyn Rodarmel. And $50 each for Fiddle Camp, Jacob Dusenberry, Zoe Dudley, Lauren Buboltz, and Olivia Swear. Congratulations.
A few more announcements and recognitions for them to get their up and down recognition. So we'll have at this moment those who participated in MSVOA District 7 Solo and Ensemble. If I counted right, we had 32 Symphony Orchestra members who participated in that event. Would you stand to be recognized? As I mentioned earlier, a successful performance at District Solo and Ensemble qualifies for State Solo Ensemble. Many of these events, all of these events were exceptional. We had 10 performers take on the challenge to participate in State Solo and Ensemble. We had ensemble performances, including a cello duet performed by Mariah Crandall and Olivia Swear, a violin duet performed by Maggie Fischel and Lauren Buboltz, a string quartet performed by Eli Lewis, Olivia Kennard, Ava Williams, and Hayden Fox. Solo performances were also given by Erilyn Rodarmo, Lauren Buboltz, Maggie Fischel, and Carly Fischel. We could give these folks a round of applause. At the state level, beginning in 10th grade, Soloists perform music that they've already prepared, as well as scales and sight reading to complete what's called a proficiency examination. And so 4 soloists who were recognized already or named already are being presented tonight with a certificate provided by the MSBOA for successful completion of their proficiency examination. So if Erilyn Rodamo, Lauren Buloltz, Maggie Fischel, and Carly Fischel could come forward to receive their certificate. Orchestra directors in MSBOA District 7 coordinate an annual honors band and honors orchestra event. Students are nominated by their directors to represent their school. Selected performers come together for a day of rehearsals and conclude their time with a performance. The honors band this year was held at Fruitport High School on Wednesday, January 8th. It was directed by Dr. Kevin Tutt of Grand Valley State University. And the honors orchestra took place right here on our stage and was directed by the Ingrid Dykman Choral from Hope College. With those 19 performers who were selected to participate in MSBOA Honors Band and Honors Orchestra, please stand to be recognized. There's just a handful of symphony orchestra members who are also Mona Shore's fiddlers who are on this stage. So would our fiddlers please stand? I next get to talk about our Tri-M Honor Society. It's an international society established by the National Association for Music Education. The Mona Shores Tri-M chapter was established back in 2018, which was, believe it or not, 8 years ago already. It's under the direction of our advisor, Justin Sarnes. Applications for membership were reviewed in the fall, and 61 students from Mona Shores performing ensembles met the requirements of being a participant in a large ensemble, participating in solo ensemble and or an extracurricular ensemble, an A- or better in their performing arts class, and a 3.0 or better GPA. Members must also demonstrate service, leadership, and cooperation. To maintain their membership, students are required to attend monthly meetings, complete 15 music-related service hours over the course of the school year. To date, the class of 2026, now this is just our senior class, has logged 976 hours of community service. And the organization as a whole has raised over $2,500 this year to use toward music department projects. We have 35 of the 61 Tri-M members on the stage tonight, including 2 of the executive officers. At this time, would all of our Tri-M members stand to be recognized? Seniors who are in good standing are awarded the Pink Honor Cord to be worn along with their cap and gown at graduation. And our Tri-M officers also get the additional distinction of a medallion to be worn at graduation. So our string players will receive that this evening. Our wind and percussion players will receive their cords at their banquets next week. The screen is coming down, so here's what this means. It's time to honor our seniors. While the screen makes its way, I have a commercial for all of the sophomores and juniors out there who are interested in becoming a Tri-M member. Usually Tri-M waits till the fall to induct their new members. This year it's brand new. We're gonna do it in the spring. So you should have received an email to sophomores and juniors and families to register for and sign in to become a Tri-M member. We're looking forward to having you as part of that group. So our seniors this evening will receive a plaque with their name on it. It has their years of participation, as well as a 2026 pin to add to their collection to put on their letter that they received as a junior. String players also get back their first day of school homework cards that I've saved throughout the year. I have a banner in my classroom that says, I teach music, or I teach orchestra, because I know of no better way to open the minds, hearts, and souls of my students to the world. Why do you play? And so this card, every year they write on there their motivation for being in orchestra, and I post them all on the banner, and that reminds us of why we come every day and do what we do. So as the seniors come forward tonight, I've got one more assignment for them. I have all kinds of parts and pieces that kind of live in the orchestra room. So this year, instead of signing their name on a broken piece of an instrument, we had enough cello bridges that have come off broken instruments to have each one of our seniors make their own design and sign this bridge. And so when they come forward, they're going to attach their bridge to our frame, which is going to live in the classroom, so that they have left their mark, or they always have left their mark, or been in our space. So that is their task tonight as they come up to be introduced. It's my honor now to recognize 28 seniors this evening. Claire Bradley. Grace Chasko. Cameron Cree. Hayden Fox. Naya Fritz. Carson Hallman. B. Hopper. Chastity Jordan. August Justin. Olivia Kennert. Sarah Kim. Jalen Knight. Madeline Kramer. Raylan Larry. Eli Lewis. Eliza Mann. Aurora Morin. James Oliarchuk. Jocelyn Petrowski. Anastasia Rumler. Charles Shaw. Maya Schlaper. Hope Shanta. Ella Stewart. Harper Smith. Emma Whiteman. Ava Williams. And our last student to be recognized is not necessarily a senior, but an exchange student who has made a huge impact on our program this year. And this is Mihiro Tanaka. So we are all set with the screen. The screen can make its way up. Thank you. I have the privilege to announce several other awards before we play our last number. The Michigan School Band and Orchestra Association gives a Scholar Musician Award, and this is given to a senior orchestra member who demonstrates academic and musical excellence, has participated in at least one MSBOA event during the year. This senior has a weighted GPA of 4.321 at the conclusion of the second trimester and has demonstrated excellence in rehearsals and performances. The recipient of the MSBOA Scholar Musician Award is Sarah Kim. The Outstanding Fiddler Award was first presented in 2015 to honor an exceptional senior fiddler. There are two performers I would like to honor this evening for their musical leadership and talent. From stepping up to take solos to always giving their best, these two performers are truly outstanding. This year's outstanding fiddlers are B. Hopper and James Oliarchek. The Chamber Music Award is an award that doesn't necessarily get given each year. It was first presented in 2004 to honor chamber ensembles for their superior performance and service to the orchestra program and our community. I have the pleasure of recognizing 3 ensembles this evening. 2 have performed both at district and state festivals for 3 years in a row, and 1 ensemble has performed at district solo ensemble all 4 years of high school. Tonight I'd like to present the Chamber Music Award to the string quartet of Olivia Kennert, Eli Lewis, Ava Williams, and Hayden Fox, the cello trio of Hayden Fox, Gus Justian, and Charles Shaw, and the bass duet of Cameron Cree and Eliza Mann. The Directors Award was first presented in 1993 to honor leaders of the high school orchestra program. This performer leads by example on a daily basis, always striving to improve. He's participated in honors orchestra and solo and ensemble events, volunteered many times when help was needed. His positive attitude is simply contagious. It is my pleasure to present the Directors Award to Hayden Fox. The National Orchestra Award was first presented in 1989, 3 years after the Mona Shores Orchestra program began. The National School Orchestra Award is the highest honor that can be bestowed upon a member of a high school orchestra, and it recognizes excellence in performance and the contribution to the ensemble. This year's recipient has represented Mona Shores at solo and ensemble events, participated in honors orchestra, is a Tri-M executive board member, and has been a member of the Fiddlers for 4 years, taking on leadership roles as a soloist. She values our shared orchestra experience. I am pleased to present the National School Orchestra Award to Ava Williams.
In 2012, John and Ann Augustin started a memorial fund with the Community Foundation for Muskegon County to honor Ann's parents, Carl and Rita Edquist. John and Ann were active members of the MSOPA and when their children were a part of the program, and Ann's parents were enthusiastic supporters of the arts. A scholarship for the Mona Shores Orchestra student in their honor was a perfect fit. All seniors are eligible to apply, and the criteria for selecting the recipient is based on orchestra involvement in and out of school, musical awards and honors received during their time in the program, leadership and service, as well as future plans after high school. A committee reviewed the applications to determine the recipient of this year's $1,000 scholarship. The reviewers had this to say about this year's recipient. This person has been a part of almost everything that the Mona Shores Orchestra has to offer. Orchestra since 5th grade, middle fiddles, high school fiddlers, honors orchestra, solo and ensemble 5 times, singing Christmas tree, pops, coffee house, a student leader for summer strings, and a 2-year member of the Tri-M Music Honor Society. This clearly demonstrates a strong commitment to the Mona Shores Orchestra program. In addition to performing with the orchestra and string ensembles, this student has attended solo and ensemble for voice 6 times and is a member of the choir student executive board. In the fall, she plans to attend the Culinary Institute of America in New York for baking and pastry arts. She hopes to open a bakery one day where she can feature local musicians as well as her baking talents. On behalf of the MSOPA, I am honored to present this year's Edquist Scholarship to Eliza Mann.
All right, we've got one more number for you this evening. So, they're getting ready. So, this next tune, Hoedown, by Aaron Copeland, is the final movement of a 4-movement suite from the ballet Rodeo, which is choreographed by Agnes DeMille. It debuted in 1942, and although it's an old one, you might recognize it if you're as old as I am from some famous taglines used in commercials. So we are getting ready for Hoedown.
In an evening of glowing and deserved accolades for our student musicians and inspiring music that brings sheer joy to musicians, to your audience, there remains not much more to be said, but this. Thank you. Thank you, student musicians, kiddos, lovely, lovely people. You are treasures. And this to our absolutely astonishingly dedicated orchestra directors who cultivate this in our students for their lifetime of joy and bringing this beauty to our entire community and the world. Mrs. DeRose, Mr. Mosley, we thank you as well.
So it has been a true honor to work with and get to know all of these performers, in particular the class of 2026. They're talented musicians, they're creative thinkers, they're leaders amongst their peers, but most importantly, they're good humans. Thanks to the families for giving me the opportunity to work with your kids. I didn't get to do this job without families supporting their kids' interest in learning to make music and all that comes with it, listening to all of those wonderful beginner sounds, investing in the instruments, the lessons, the camps, providing encouragement and praise along the way. So thank you, parents, for that opportunity for me. For those who've ever had that conversation that ended with, "You're not quitting and someday you'll thank me," perhaps this might be the day. The next few weeks are going to be a blur with events and gatherings and parties and all the celebrations that these kids deserve. These seniors and soon-to-be graduates will always have a home here, friends here. The experience that have made all the effort and hard work worth it. Class of 2026 has left their mark on our space and also in our hearts. We're going to end tonight's performance with the Mona Shores Alma Mater featuring the class of 2026. the class of 2026. We thank you all so much for being here this evening. Congratulations to our seniors, and have a wonderful rest of your evening.